Hello everybody, this is MS Malik 681, just doing a beginner's guide on how to set up OpenBOR Rage and getting started on modifying the first character. So let's download an OpenBOR Rage module first. So here on Chrome Crash you can go to downloads at the top there, OpenBOR Rage modules, and let's find one to modify. Okay, so I've just got to pick one first. BOR Rage. Okay, so this looks like the original BOR Rage. Let's go for this one. I want to pick a mod that's not too heavily scripted or anything. Let's save this on the desktop. So it'll be nice and easy to modify and don't have to do anything fancy. Just a beginner's guide this is to get you started. So once you've got a module downloaded, or if you've picked a module that you want to modify to turn into something that matches the final game you want to make. So from here we also need some tools. Go back to downloads, under tools, we need to be able to extract this. We need the Neo edit pack. So this needs to be saved to our desktop, or save it wherever you like, but I'm checking on the desktop. Finally, the last thing we'll need to get started is a version of OpenBOR Rage. I recommend obviously the most latest stable release for now. So if you go to the GitHub page for OpenBOR Rage, so github.com, DC current, OpenBOR, find the releases and just get the latest stable release here, 6391. So just download the executable here to desktop. Okay, let's get OpenBOR Rage extracted first. Oh dear, didn't want that. Just messed up my whole desktop there. Let's delete that. Okay, so should have looked in that package first with WinRAR or whatever extraction. So we want the Windows version. So this is the folder we want. And in here you'll have the exe. The packs folder is normally where you put your games, but because we're modifying the game, you're going to work it a little bit differently. So here's the mod that we're going to be working with. So it's just a bor.pack file. Let's extract that into a folder here. And we need the tools to modify that. Okay, so if we go to where that pack file is, we need to extract the BOR Rage pack and make pack. Make pack is to turn it back into a pack file for the final release, but while you're modifying it, you need a data folder to work with. So you just grab that pack you want to extract, drag it to the bor pack.exe and just let go, and it will extract everything into a data folder. So this data folder needs to sit in the same directory as your OpenBOR Rage exe or OpenBOR exe, so just paste it in there. Now to access this data folder we need to make a fake pack file in there. So if you do a new text document and just type in bor.pack, make sure pack is the extension on it. If it's still showing txt, it won't work. So make sure on your Windows settings you can view extensions and modify them as well. So now we've got everything set up, this data folder should load when we load OpenBOR Rage. So we'll just quickly test that, make sure that's all working. It seems to be working just fine now. So let's close out that by pressing F10, escape. Okay, so when you go into the data folder, there's a folder called shards. This is normally where the characters are saved. Tell the truth, anyone can actually do their own custom layout on this, but you'll figure out where they are eventually. But let's modify Mary. Actually, let's modify Kula. So she's normally the first one to get picked, so I'll just modify her. Actually, let's modify Mary. Yeah, it's modify Mary. Okay, so just copy her, paste her, folder her. So if you're actually adding a new character and not the replacing that player, you want to make a copy. If you want to just add a new character in there, so Mary is a player character, so she's already got all the right information on a character file. So I'm actually making Kazuma from Galaxy Fight. It's a ninja. I like ninjas. So Kazuma, we'll name the folder Kazuma. We will name the character file from Mary txt to Kazuma, and go into that character file and rename the name to Kazuma. And now all the images are pointing to the Mary folder under character, Shars, and then Mary. So we want to change Mary to Kazuma. So let's just Control and H that. So from Mary / to Kazuma / let's replace all of those, and now they'll all be pointing to the correct folder. So right now, let's just test that this character is actually in the game by finding her idle animation, which I believe is called stand, not slap. Stand, here we go. So just stand01, open with my paint application, which is Paint Pro. Okay, image flip. Okay, let's save that. So now if we go into character select screen, no, sorry, I forgot one step. We need to add this character into the models. So let's copy one of the player characters and just paste it here and change everything to match our new character. So name Kazuma, folder, Kazuma, text file, Kazuma. Okay, now this character should be selectable in the game. So let's test that out. Let's full screen and make it easier to look at. So this is Kazuma right here, so you can see one of the frames is popping upside down. So now we need to change that character to look like Kazuma. Now, this isn't my first run. I actually recorded this a moment ago, or I did this whole tutorial a moment ago, and I did it wrong. I didn't have my microphone hooked up properly, so I might have to extract that images for Kazuma again. I think I didn't do it properly. I moved them instead of copying them. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do this again. Actually, let me just look in my bin. It's already here. I don't, no, I can't do it like that. Okay, so this is a Mugen character for Kazuma because I couldn't find a sprite sheet for him online, even on Sprite's Resource, made by Psychros. So I'll be using that for the tutorial, but I'm pretty sure I have got rid of his idle animation, so I'm going to have to re-rip these images. So yeah, let's just delete this whole folder, or all these images. Okay, so this wasn't meant to be in the recording, but whatever. So D drive, I've got my OpenBOR tools, and I use Mugen Fight Factory. So obviously, if you're going to do this for an original character, I'd advise getting permission. But I mean, I'm doing it for a character that's already in a game, so it's an exact copy of him, nothing original. But it's only for a tutorial, so it doesn't really matter too much. So let's go to the desktop, Kazuma, open the def file, and under sprites, so we want to export all of them. Wow, that just crashed. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Okay, project, open, desktop, Kazuma. So under sprites, export all to desktop, new folder, just write in save that. So that should have exported all the images. Close Flight Factory, so we've got all of these images again. Okay, so let's just carry on with the tutorial, and let's first find her stand animation. So ST stand, here we are. So she's got about 5 stand animations there. I'm going to replace these with Kazuma stand animation, which is 0001, 02, and 03. Because I've already done this, I know that these loop onto themselves, so I know exactly what to do here, which does save a bit of time. So let's open up the paint application, get these all copied over or opened up in the paint application. So here on the right, you'll see that there's a 256 color palette. If your character is a high color image or not 256 colors, you need to make a 256 color palette. You can do a 16-bit palette if you're not using a lot of colors, or a 2-bit palette if it's just a black and white image. But the first color has to be the transparent image or transparent color. So this is already done, so that saves us a bit of time. So what I'm going to do here is actually a technique I like to do, or I've recently started doing since I've been modding my Double Dragon game, where you get the first image of the animation and make a nice big working space around it. So 200 by 150 should be enough. Let's actually move them up a bit, about there, and what we do is, so that's the first frame of the animation. Let's get this palette saved image, palette, save palette, there's Kazuma. Okay, so we've got this palette now, that's the first image, 01 is the second image, let's copy that, let's paste it as a new layer, so we have to increase the colour to high colour. Maybe that wasn't the best way to do it, so let's cut that on the new layer and let's paste it as a transparent selection. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to match up his feet so the animation looks like it's nice and smooth. So selection, invert. Okay, so let's just toggle this layer on and off to see if the animation is looking right. So it looks like it's moving in the right direction, which is great. So let's get rid of the second frame in the animation and get the third one, which is named 02. So let's make a new layer, new raster layer, and again, just like we did, let's paste this as a transparent selection so we can match up them feet. Perfect. Selection invert. This is just to get rid of the transparent bit. So let's toggle this one on and off. Yeah, animation looks fine. And let's get that last layer. So layer, new layer. Okay. Get that one. Copy this one. Everyone's paint program is going to be different, but they all do the same type of things. Oh, did I just make a new raster layer? Yes, I did. Okay, let's paste it here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the fourth frame of the animation. So paste as transparent selection. Again, chop them feet. Okay, selection invert. And right, let's toggle that. That is the final animation frame, and everything looks fine there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start hiding all these frames. Go back to the first one and get rid of this. So let's copy merged, paste this new image. So that's the first frame of the animation. Let's actually save it as we go. So load Kazuma's 256 color palette. It will find the closest colors. It will do everything for you there. That'll be fine. And now let's save this. Now we want to overwrite Mary's stand. animation. So we're in the Kazuma folder and we want to find her stand animation. So st stand 1.gif. So let's overwrite that, replace it. So that's the first animation done. So let's unhide the second animation frame. Copy merged, paste it over here. Okay, we want to save that. So GIF image, stand 2, save. Oh, I didn't load this palette. So that's fine. Let's unhide the third frame. Copy merged, paste the image, load the color palette, and save it as GIF. Stand 3. Save, replace, and finally the fourth frame of this animation. Copy merged, paste new image, save that. Let's GIF format. Stand 4. Save, replace. Didn't load this color palette, did I? Save it again. Okay, so that should be the first 4 frames of the stand animation done now. She's got some extra frames which we don't need because Kazuma doesn't have that many. So let's get rid of those. Okay, so we need to get her text file open, which I think I've still got open there. No, I haven't. So let's open her text file, or his text file, sorry, cross gender. Okay, so here under idle, we want only 4 frames, but like I said, this is the type of animation that reverses onto itself, so I need to go back in the order after this. So frame 3, 2, and then when it loops it'll go back to 1. I already know I want to slightly slow the delay on this. Do I? Let's just do that to 15. Now we need to make something called an offset. So what I did was, when I put these images into the square, they all were in the exact right place where they need to be. So one offset will work for all of these frames. So what an offset is the base of the animation where his feet are going to, or where the center of his feet, like the very bottom base of this character. So I'll show you. It'll just be a lot easier to explain than trying to explain it. So let's zoom in a bit. So what I like to do is I like to have the offset. So whatever is the bottom part of his foot. So this is the highest part of his foot on the ground. I like to go 1 pixel up from there, and then try to get in the middle here. So about there looks about right. So the offset for this is 93,138. Let's get that written down quickly. 93,168, I think it was. Let me double check. 138, I think it was. Right, let's just do that again. So let me just explain what I'm doing here. So when I'm making this box, the lines are just there to help me line up where the offset should be. But on the image, in the bottom right, my paint program shows me my X and Y offset on this image. So it's 9338 in this bottom right hand corner. If you can see right now, it's down here, which is now showing 176.47. But yeah, on the image it will show you 9338 right there. Let me just double check. So I like to move the box. So while I'm drawing the box, and then just let go. 93,138. So that'll tell me exactly where it needs to be. 138. So I'm going to use this same type of technique. So this crop box is going to help me make something called a B box, a body box. So as long as your character has a body box or B box, the enemy can attack. So if you don't add a B box, your character will be unattackable, and it will be a very boring game. So you need to make sure you're adding body boxes onto all your animation frames. Again, because this animation, they all use the same offset. The body box can pretty much be the same on all of them. Some animations, if he's moving up or down or drastically changing in each frame. You might want a different body box for every single frame maybe, but for this one, for the idle, it's going to be nice and easy. We're just going to make one body box and share it over the whole animation. So what I like to do is make a box like this using the crop tool to cover him. So this is going to be his actual body box. You can physically see it. And when I make the box, I'll start off at the bottom right and I'll go up to the top left. And once I've got it where I want it, around about there, so I'll just let go. And again, like I did a second ago, I look at the X and Y coordinates of where my cursor is right now on the image. So 70, 53. So the first two coordinates are the X and Y, 70, 53. Oops. Now, because I made this with the crop tool, it's already telling me the width and height of this box. So these are the next two parameters I need to enter for a body box or V box. So it's 4784. 4784. Okay, so I've got that, and that's it. I mean, he's got a box that can be attacked. He's got his offset. He should be all good. So let's actually run the game and see if he's showing up there now in his true form, shall we say. Oh dear, something just crashed. Let's go into the logs and find out why this just crashed. Down the end it will tell me stand 05 is missing. Shouldn't have a stand 05. Oh, okay, I haven't changed any of my changes, so I'll save that and then we'll try running it. So the logs are very important if you want to debug or find out why your game crashed. They normally just highlight like this is missing or that's not right or this isn't working. So you'll learn how to read those if you're going to be modding for a long time. So there we go, Kazuma right there. Right, maybe the delay on his animation is a bit too slow, but he definitely looks like he's his animation is on the right. It just looks correct. Like I said, it could be a bit faster, but it's working there. So so let's just speed that back up, do it about 12 on the delay. Could just left it at 10, I guess. And what I'll do is I'll just show you how to do one quick attack, and that should be enough for a beginner's guide, I suppose. So let's see his attack animation. Let's find something to use as an attack. There we go. Nice, simple little punching animation. Here, nice, quick little two-punch animation. Let's get that opened up in our paint program. Okay, so we'll do the same as we did last time. We'll use this as a template for this. So what we'll do is we'll get the idle animation offset, which is 93138. Get me a little white dot. 93. Oops. 138. So that's his offset right there. And now with this image, I'm going to find out where his offset should be. So on this image, I would say it should be actually. In this case, I'll do it a little bit differently because I can see that his front foot looks exactly like this front foot. I'll just make a new layer above this. So image layer, paste as transparent selection. Let's just match up these front feet because he's leaning forward for this one, so the front feet should match up. And again, selection, invert, and let's just clear the background. Okay, so let's merge that down. So merge down. So this is now the first frame, and the second frame is the actual him throwing the punch. So again, if I match up the front foot, that should be enough. Yeah, this is actually the stand-up GIF. Copy, paste this in the image. Don't want to accidentally overwrite stand-up GIF, so just make this new image. Copy layers, new raster layer. Let's paste that as transparent selection. And again, I want to match up that front foot, and hopefully that will look just beautiful. I'm not sure if that is correct. Looks like I should be a few frames forward. Okay, we'll mess about with that in just a second. So first, let's invert this selection so I can get rid of the background, with the bucket fill, and just make it pink. Right, now we've got two layers. Let's look at the animation. It doesn't look that bad. Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. So yeah, let's just get rid of these. So we've already got the offset. We're going to use the same offset as the idle animation. So this is the first frame. Let's get the right palette on there, the Kazuma palette, and let's save that as attack. Cosbell attack 101. Okay, let's get the second frame. Copy merged. Paste the image. Load the right palette. And let's save that as GIF also as attack 102. Save that. Now we need to modify this to find attack 1. So here's attack 1, just a normal light little punch. Let's get the offset from the idle animation and copy that over, because we know we're going to use the same offset because of the way we set up the picture. So offset here. Now normally in some mods they might have different offset for every single image because they've made them smaller and cropped them nicely, but you know, OpenBOR Edge does that for you, so you can have a nice nice open canvas around it and just try to match up the offsets in that box. It'll make your life a lot easier doing the big animations. Not like this, it's just a 3-frame animation, but yeah, let's just get this done. So the first frame is attack 101, and we are going to copy this, use that for frame 2, 102, and then we're going to go back to 101 at the end of it, and let's load this down to about 9. Actually, let's do 10. So the B-box on this will be a little bit different because this is a different animation from idle. He actually leans forward on this one, so the B-box will be about so there. So that's 8260, 8260, and 4475. 4475. So that's his B-box done. Now for an attack animation, you need some an attack box as well. So attack box actually starts off just like a B-box. So to initialize one, you just type in attack. Now you can have a number after this attack to match whatever type of attack you want. So the reason you put a number is like attack 1. When you attack the enemy, they will go into pain 1. So if you also want to use attack 2, they'll use pain 2. So different attacks can cause enemies to react differently if they have the matching pain animation. But we're just doing the default one. So the way I do attack box is the same as a B box. So I'll start off on the bottom right hand corner where I want the attack box, and we go back with the crop tool to where you want it to start, and then just let go and look at your X and Y. So I've got 114.59. So 114.59, and then look at the width and height, which is 46.24. 46.24. Now attack boxes have a lot of coordinates on them, so let's see if we can find one on the OpenBOR Edge manual, a great resource for understanding the engine. So attack box, let's see if we can find an attack box. Here we are. So here you've got all these coordinates. This is really the old style of attack box. There's a new one, but a lot of people still do use this until maybe multiple attack boxes will be added into the engine. So like I've already done, I've done the X and Y coordinates of the attack, I've done the right and down or the width and height. So the next one is damage. So do we want this attack to knock the enemy down? No, we don't, because this is just the first in an attack string. So we put 0, and After that, you got block. Oh, sorry, you got power. Sorry. Right, I've got mixed up there. Okay, damage is how much damage it's going to do when it hits the enemy. Let's just do 10 damage, and then there's power. So 1 would be to knock them down, 0 will be just to hit them and stun them. Now the rest of these values, block I think is if they want to make your attack unblockable. So some enemies can block. You can set that as a variable for them, and you can set it to be an unblockable attack. No flash, you can disable the default flash. Pause time is how long they stay paused for after getting hit. And Z I think is for how far into the Z axis your attack goes. I don't know if this one actually works. I never use it, so it's there. But yeah, everything's explained here in more detail. But that's just a quick overview of how to do attack box. So when you initialize an attack box, it will stay active throughout the whole animation. So obviously the last frame is just him pulling his punch back, so we don't want an attack box there, or it'll look a bit silly hitting someone when you're not actually attacking. So let's disable the attack box by doing 4 zeros. So the X and Y are all zeros, the height, really these are the main two that empty out the attack box because there's no box anymore. So the height and width are 0. So now there's a 0 attack for the rest of the animation, which is just this one frame. So let's do that 12 today, maybe, give it a bit. I don't want to be able to see the animation, but yeah, might be better doing it a bit faster actually, because it's a nice quick little punch. So let's actually test if this works now. See if we can punch someone. Okay, so while he's walking, he's still using her animation, so you can replace that as well. And oh, that is very slow. That's way too slow. But whatever, I mean, it's very fluid though. It looks like it's animating correctly, so you can see it just it looks right. So let's see if that attack box actually hits someone. Yep. Okay, so the attack box works on the animation, and everything looks okay. So, I mean, the process I've followed here, you just need to keep doing this for every single animation until you've replaced Mary with Kazuma. So the icon, the sound effects, the everything. Again, another good way of learning how to modify characters is to look at other mods and how they've done it. One thing I might just point out is when you make a new character, their color palette is loaded from the first image that's used. So in this whole character, the very first frame or image you use is right here under frame stand 1.gif. So that's the palette used for all the rest of the images. That's why the Miri images don't look right, because Kazuma's palette is loaded now. But you can manually load it by just typing palette and then data character. Just point to any one of the images that has the correct palette. So that's a way to manually load the palette on your character so they don't look wrong. Also, just make sure that you save the palette somewhere and apply it to every single image so they all share the correct palette. You shouldn't have any color distortion or problems there, hopefully. And what other things? So in free specials, I tried a free special, but it just took too long, so I'm not going to put that in this quick beginner's guide. I did notice on the manual here, this is a very good resource to help you learn how to use OpenBOR, but just be aware this. I'll get this updated. I'll talk to Illusionista. So CMD is the wrong input. So this, when you're doing the free special, make sure you do COM, short for command, the sequence of inputs, and then the free special number. So you can actually make special moves using these kind of inputs. So like for Hadouken, you would do DFA, down, forward, attack, or attack 2, depending on how you laid out your buttons. But again, like I said, this video was mainly just a quick beginner's guide, show you how to get a module opened and start modifying it. So most of your stuff you'll learn maybe from the manual or looking at other people's mods and trying to reverse engineer and understand how they work. I mean, that's why I learned scripting, but scripting is more advanced. But I told you, if you want your mod to be any good these days, you have to have some basic knowledge of scripting. But yeah, I'm hoping this will help someone get started on their new mod. And if you drop down to the Chrono Crash forum, lots of developers there happy to help you with any problems you might face getting started. And yeah, good luck, guys. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.